Frazier Ramsden and his wife, Marie Delara, run a small holding in Galloway, southwest Scotland, where they breed the rare cattle milk Murret sheep and run their successful business, Corway Dark Sky Glamping. A self-confessed petrolhead, Fraser is also the proud owner of a 1930s Talbot, one of only 4 saloons left in the world. Designed by Swiss engineer George Roche, these were innovative cars for their time. They were also very beautiful, as this original example shows. And let's not forget the third member of the family, their loyal dog Jack, who also accompanies them on long journeys and always seems to have something to say.
He wants to go for a ride. It's his favourite car.
So you did a wedding in this yesterday, you said?
I did a wedding at the weekend. Yeah, we dressed her up a little bit, got some ribbons on her, and give the bride a run up to the clacking up here to the church. It was a nice little.
Weren't you worried about it breaking down, or?
I was shitting myself. I didn't turn the car off all day. I started it in the morning, drove it down over to Cowan, and we kept it running the whole time, waiting for the bride.
So where did you buy this from?
So we were down at an auction in Buxton, and it was sitting in the centre of in the front of the whole auction there, and it just something about the car, the sloping grille and the windshield, and I just fell in love with it. But I chickened out, and another lad bought it, but I kept in touch with him for about a year, kept pestering him, and he had a lovely collection of cars himself. And then he called me up one day and said, right, you can have it. And off we went down to Manchester and picked it up.
And it drove back fine, yeah?
Yeah, she did, yeah. She runs lovely. It's quite an interesting old car. So she's got a few interesting bits which I like. One of them is there's a central jacking system built into the car. There's 3 jacks in the car.
Yeah.
And on the original sales brochure, there's a chap in his suit with his dicky bow on, and it says, changing a tyre's a breeze with a Talbot, and he's stood at the front here with his suit on, and he's got a jack. So you put the jack in here, and the jack comes right out the centre and lifts the 2 front wheels off the ground.
Wow.
And there's one built in each corner, and you just reach in through the wheel arch, clip it on. You don't even have to bend over.
That's great, isn't it?
And then the other thing I liked is it's got quite an interesting oil changing system and a big pre-lubricating system, which when you top her up with oil, you pump a little reservoir and it sends oil out to all the steering rods, brake rods, steering box, water pump, and it's all working. I heated the old copper pipes up with a blowtorch, and it blew all the crap out of them, and they're all working lovely. So when I got the car, I thought, right, I'll give it an oil change. So I got the original sales brochure out again, and there's the same chap again with his dicky bow on and his suit. Don't get your hands dirty when you change the oil with a Talbot. Warm her up, push down on the dipstick, and away the oil goes. Wow. So it's got this fabulous big dipstick, and then you push it down, all the oil drops out, hopefully into a pan. But I'm not sure they did that back in the day.
Down the
found
grid,
the field. And then you just top her back up again. It's that easy to give her an oil change.
It was a really well thought out design.
Yeah, they were. There's only 4 of these big saloons left that we know of in the Talbot Owners Club now. There was some father and son called the Paulsons.
Yeah.
And I think in the 70s and 80s, a lot of these big saloons, they chopped the bodies off them and turned them all into specials. Yeah. So there's about 4 of these left that we know about with the original Durac bodies.
And tell me the story about the war.
Yeah, so the car was ordered new by a Welsh professor, and he took delivery of the car, and I think he had the car about a year, and the ministry came and knocked on the door. Mister, we'll be needing your car for the efforts. and they took it and used it as a RAF staff car right
So
through
they
the war.
painted it blue.
Yes.
And probably hand painted it blue.
They
as well.
probably did, yeah.
It's a lovely new car.
Yeah, and then it came back to the family after the war, and it stayed with that family right up in Wales, right up until 1986.
Wow. It's almost like it belongs here. In
Yeah,
this.
and it's got about 88,000 miles originally from new.
That's nothing, is it?
No, not really.
It's not even run in yet.
But we have a lot of fun with the car. Myself and my wife want to do some long distance rallies with the car.
Yeah. I bet she's thrilled.
Yeah, we've done a lot. We've been doing plenty of rallies for years.
Yeah. Wow.
But we'd like to maybe do a Land's End to John O'Groats with the car.
Yeah.
And I've got a chap down south who builds lovely roof racks for all the vintage cars, you know, all the VW buses and things like that. And he's going to make me a full roof rack for the car.
And you could just open your sunroof and get your underpants out the case.
That's it.
Close the sunroof again.
That's it.
Brilliant.
We'll give her a fire up there.
You're going to take it out in this?
You want to go for a spin? Fantastic. Why not?
Well, then, you've got two horns on, two different, you know,
Two
different types of horn,
different tones. Yeah. But they were built for these kind of
I was
roads,
going to
really.
say, it's handling the terrain pretty well, isn't it?
Farm tracks and cobble roads. I just put a new set of Blockley tyres on it, which is just absolutely changed the car. 'Cause the tyres that were originally on the car were the original gold seals in Dunlop Forts.
Really nice gearbox, this, isn't it?
This car, luckily for me, is they put the Humber box in this car and they got rid of the Wilson's pre-selector.
Is this originally at the factory or the person that bought
the
it?
year before,
Yeah.
the cars before it.
So it was just on the changeover.
Yeah, it was
Lucky
just on
for
the
you, they put
changeover.
the better box.
Yeah. The other good change was they did away with the Dynastart, which was a starter motor and dynamo all in one, and they're really temperamental things. So,
It's fabulous, that, isn't it?
Grignelda and Kensmore.
They shouldn't really ask you about the dials and the switches here because you just end up taking us into the woods. But it looks pretty eclectic mix of knobs and switches, that is it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Unfortunately, the speedo cable broke a few months ago.
And full of mercury, you see, as well.
And that, yeah.
Mercury poisoning, yeah.
The clock don't work, but I'm going to take...
Thermometer.
Yeah, that's your telegauges, they call them.
Yeah.
That's your temperature,
Yeah.
and that's your fuel. When you put your dash lights on, they all light up at the back, which is...
Nice.
yeah.
Cozy little pocket.
Yeah.
Runs really well, doesn't it? The temperature's great, everything's fantastic, isn't it? I'm so glad you've got new tyres on this. I want to see Christmas. Come on, Fraser. Have a look at the engine.
Yeah, let's have a little look, see how she's doing. Still got a few Christmas ribbons hanging off the wheels there.
It's all right.
I mean, wedding trimmings.
Okay, there. Get a warm off that.
Yeah. Keep you warm your lunch up in there. Here's the old jack system that I was telling you about for jacking the car up. This lovely old telescopic jack. So when you wanted to jack her up,
Yeah.
you just clip that one on the back there and wind it
I
up,
see that clips on the back there.
and it
onto
lifts
that
it
rod.
up. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So there she is. It's a straight six Talbot engine, and
Tell me about, you said about the way it keeps its temperature. The way it opens the louvers and closes
the louvers.
for cooling.
So the bonnet now, she's nice and warm.
Yeah.
They're partially open because it's quite chilly
so
out.
these open and close?
Yeah, so there's a thermostat in here that controls a little mechanism, and it opens and closes the louvers.
Like that, yeah, wow.
But it's quite cold out right now, but if it's when she gets nice and hot, they come vertical.
Yeah.
And it's all working like it should, which is quite rare. Some lads have taken this off and put electric servos on them, but it's
don't
working
work as
is
well.
that one. Yeah. But I rebuilt the water pump. Watch your head there. But I rebuilt the water pump in the spring. That was quite an interesting job. I had to take the radiator off and all the headlamps.
And you did it yourself?
Yeah. Yes, and I've got a friend, John Dodd. He's getting on now. He's an expert with these Talbots. When his dad died, he inherited 10 tons of Talbot parts. His dad went around salvaging them all from the scrapyards, and he made a modification for these because they had an oiler on them, and you'd put a turn on the greaser.
Yeah.
And that's how the old water pumps worked, and they had like a rope and wax bushing in them.
Yeah.
But they were very temperamental.
Yeah.
And
Over age,
about
they stop you.
yeah, about 40 years ago, he adapted them and put a water pump bearing in them. And when we took this one off to do it, it was one of his. It was already.
Wow.
It had already had one of his early conversions on it.
Fantastic. this is
Yeah. And that's the dipstick I was telling you about.
Oh, for oiling up all the suspension.
Yeah, oil and drain. So when you want to change the oil, you just push down on the dipstick, and the bung comes out of the bottom of the engine.
And what was the thing that oils up all the suspension?
Yeah, and then that's this one right here. So just at the side of
Watch
this
your fingers there.
little reservoir, when you top it up, it holds about half a quart in the little reservoir. And this little pump lever here, you just give that a couple of pumps.
Watch your hand there.
And it squirts the oil out through these little greases, the oil box, the suspension arms, the brake rods, and it puts a bit of oil on all the springs.
And there you have it. That's your maintenance.
So when you park the car up, there's about 8 oil splotches underneath, and the steering rods and all the springs.
That's great. Should we head back?
Yes, let's do it. Yeah. Clattering Shaw's Dam.
Look at this.
I know. It really is. You do not need to go up to the Highlands to find the beauty of Scotland. It's hidden away right here in the southwest, and we've only just been discovered now.
Fraser, where's the pub? Come on.
Let's go to the pub. We rent the cars for Mille Miglia, New Bellari, Coppa Milano, San Remo, most of the Italian events. Get over there every year and
then get
we
drunk.
have a good crack, yeah.
Nice food.
Oh, amazing food and great people. And
That's it. It's not so much about the cars. It's about the coming together of the people and all having a good time. Listening to stories.
That's really why I go to do it. The Mille Miglia is a lovely event. It really is. The whole of Italy just turns a blind eye for 3 days while 400 cars go full speed around Italy.
It's a far cry from its origins in elegant Paris and London, Yet this Talbot fits in seamlessly with the grand, rugged beauty of Scotland. I can see why Fraser fell for this beautiful car. What a pleasure it's been. Thank you for watching this episode of Classic Obsession. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe and join me next time when I embark on my next restoration project, a true 1970s classic, the Lotus Elite.